It's time to answer the questions about lawns and gardens, all the plants that you want to grow out there. Every Wednesday, plant and garden expert Craig Hignight joins us to take your questions, and Craig is here. Good to see you.
Glad to be here.
You're a busy guy right now in the greenhouse and elsewhere with Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day. Can't keep the benches full right now, but we're giving it our best shot.
Well, and we had a nice run of good weather, too, for people to get out there and get busy. Up first, we have Donnie in Galesburg with a question for you, Craig. Good morning, Donnie. Go ahead.
I got a question on poinsettias. Is it safe to plant poinsettias now or later?
Well, poinsettias are normally planted in July, but if you've got a leftover from last year, right now is the time to go ahead and cut it back to about 6 or 8 inches above the ground and start all over again. The long days that we're getting now is going to break the bloom anyway. You've got to start getting ready for this next season's growth. Remember, they don't grow as fast in your house as we can get them to grow in the greenhouse.
Sure, sure. All right, let's talk to Elsie now in Moline. Hi, Elsie.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. My question is, I get pesky dandelions starting in the middle of my grass. I want to be able to kill them a spot at a time, but I don't want to kill the grass around them. Is there a safe product that I could just maybe spray on that one dandelion or the one over here?
Sure.
Would kill it, but not leave me a dead patch in the grass?
Oh, definitely. The product Weed-Free Zone is one of the safest broadleaf killers there is. It does not touch grass. Grass doesn't even know that it's there. You can get it in a ready-to-use bottle, and you can spot spray. Just remember 2 things. You've got to have 24 hours without rain after it's put on, and you don't want to use it on a windy day because it can travel on the breeze. But when you're doing spot spraying, it's very easy to kill individual dandelions that way.
All right.
Weed-Free Zone.
Very good. All right, let's go to Ross in East Moline. Good morning, and go ahead with your question.
Hello.
Good morning.
Actually, good morning, Craig. All my hyacinths are done blooming. I'm thinking about transplanting them. Should I wait till fall after the veg dies off, or should I go ahead and do them now?
Well, you should wait until the foliage dies back. At that point, they can be dug up and they can be stored dry, just in a pop flat or something like that in the basement, and then replant September 1st. And this is what you want to do with all of these spring blooming bulbs that have just finished blooming. They've got to go to full maturity because they're putting the food down for next year's bloom right now. Dig them up too early and you greatly damage the bulb.
All right, let's go to Erie now and talk with Barb. Good morning, Barb. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, Craig. I had a question. We have a forsythia bush that we've had for, good 10, 12 years, and probably the last several years it doesn't bloom at all with the yellow flowers. It used to be that it would, and I know sometimes like a cold spring will affect it, but the neighbors will bloom, but not ours. Do you have any suggestions as to what's going on?
Well, you've got one of 2 situations going on. Either there's a tree or something. Something is causing shade, so the plant is just not getting enough sun, or you're pruning it at the wrong time. Now is the time to prune forsythia, just as they're going out of bloom. We're within about a week of forsythia being done, and then you go ahead, cut it back. It will go ahead and regrow. No pruning in the fall, or you'll cut off the flowers for next year. But check out that sun situation. That is what took my forsythia out in my yard. The trees finally just overgrew them, and they lost all their energy from lack of sun.
Sure, sure. All right, let's go to Sharon now in Comanche. Good morning, Sharon.
Pardon?
Good morning, Sharon. Can we help you?
Yes. Well, hi, Craig.
Good morning.
Yes, I have a question on my phlox.
Creeping phlox or tall garden phlox?
When should I, they're small.
Okay, and what do you need to do to them? Whoa.
All right, they're getting root bound, and I don't know when is the best time to send them out.
Okay, the best time to thin out phlox, if they're the short creeping phlox, as soon as they get done blooming. I noticed this week that we're just seeing the first color on creeping phlox around town. So when the bloom is done, you won't sacrifice this year's color, then you can dig the sods up divide them out, spread them out, get them back in the ground, but wait until they get done blooming.
All right, let's go to Biggsville now and talk with Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Julie and Craig. Craig, I am wondering, I already have planted my garden. Is it possible to go ahead and sprinkle preen over the bulbs and the seeds, or will that harm them?
You can use preen. Now, what you have to do, there is a garden preen that you can use. You've got to read the label. There are some plants that, I know that beans will come right up through preen, but depending on what other plants you have seeded into the garden, you've got to read the label, determine which plants you can put the preen on, and the preen only works in the specific area where you put it down. So you can wait until the other plants that might be damaged by the preen get up to that 3-inch height. The preen tells you have to wait until, and then you can do one weeding in the garden and then put the preen down, and you should be safe for the rest of the summer.
All right, good questions. A lot of different questions. People really itching to get out there. Thanks so much, Craig, for coming in. If you are holding on the line, which I'm sure you have lots of people doing, so just hang on there. Craig will run back and talk with you one-on-one. You can see Craig every Wednesday here on News 8 at 11. Coming up.